In part one of this video, I omitted a column here for other thread feeds that are not X-Force and in particularly I want to talk about one that I think is a good example. I'm not giving any judgment on the quality of their data, but they also offer a few trial. So let's if we go to the App Exchange here and we look here for recorded future, as I was doing before, right? And here enter we have two. This is more recent. As you can see, what are the things that I like to look for in here? Well, I like to see the number of downloads compared to the date of that it was the product uploaded. So this is actually fairly recent. So 605 is a decent number of component. But you get more details when you download a short PDF. When you click in here, let me actually open that one up. So this one feeds tables or reference sets. They begin with the name RF and then provides you also rules that basically we can even click in here. Notice that the rule is very simple. When the IP is containing any one of those RF reference sets, that they automatically update for you, right? They also have searches, and they also have the capability of doing lookups, which is what is showing in here. You can right click on an IP address and get the API call into recorded future. In fact, if we go into the App Exchange and we look in here for threads, you're going to find that there are, from 379 apps that are in the App Exchange, we get in here. Now that, did I click enter here? Yeah, 85 apps that are available. So not all of these are like the recorded future one that have rules and have the content. Some of these, let me scroll and see if I identify some of them. So some of these particular components, actually didn't mean to click on that one, but to keep scrolling. We see the recorded future there. This, for example, this Gigamon, what it does, and this thread queue as well, these basically do the lookup. You can right click on it and it will make the API call, and based on the reputation of their thread intelligence, it will tell you what it knows about that. There are other groups, like for example this Mandiant one and the CrowdStrike, etc., that they work with the EDR components. So this is not what we are referring to here. So when you look in it, if you see that has a DSM or a log source, then that is not one that is feeding your tables. I'm clicking on this anomaly one, and this, for example, it's a little bit older, but notice the number of downloads, more than 1,000 of them, so it has some interest. Unfortunately, when I click here on documentation, it has a wall that requires you to identify yourself and before you can actually see the documentation. But this works on seems to be working on the same. I mean, it feeds QRadar reference sets with data, and many of these have a trial option, so give it a try and see what other feeds you can put. There are some that are remarkable for email. The Cofense one is one that I remember that has a phishing campaign information that it feeds. But again, look always at the date and how fresh this information is. If a package is successful, you will see multiple versions in here, generally speaking. One more package. Again, this warning seems to indicate that they haven't updated this and they still use an app developed on their CentOS, which is not something that QRadar particularly likes. But notice that this one provides reference sets with IOCs and rules that check on that information. And here on the latest version, that's a little long on the tooth, right? But still, they might be very relevant and has a decent number of downloads as well. If also, I forgot to mention, but if you are a QRadar QRock customer, make sure that this parameter is also, most of them they are enabled, but it's worth to make sure that you have that yes in there before you move on into trying to use it. I hope these two videos help you understand what's available for QRadar in terms of thread feeds and how you can leverage it more, detect things that otherwise will be go unnoticed, and keep your false positives at bay.